When it comes to modifying your car, every detail counts. And in this case, the Z's interior needed a little more pizzazz. When I laid my eyes on those red anodized buttons from Nismo, I had to have it. So here we have the Nismo button and the Nismo drive mode switch. Both of these pieces are relatively affordable. This start button alone is 50 bucks and the drive mode selector I believe was 150. So it's going to be a very simple install. Follow along and let's get into the car. So you want to lift up on the center console. That way you can put your hand underneath this hidden cup holder and you're going to pull up relatively hard. Just don't be scared. It'll be fine. Just go straight up with it and it will unfasten. You can unclip it or lay it to the side like I did here. And then the next piece you're going to want to also pull up. It's really hard. As you can see, I'm putting some ugly ass faces, but hey, it is what it is. So now the gear selector bezel is being held by the harness for the start button and the harness for the drive mode selector. So go ahead and disconnect both of those clips and then you'll have this piece free in your hand. Now, as you can see, the button and trigger is being held by 6 fasteners. Those are Phillips screws number 2. So go ahead and unfasten those. That way you can go to the next step, which is separating the button and trigger from the base. You want to use a very thin flathead screwdriver and you're going to carefully push back on that little hook type clip, which is over that prong. As you can see, there's a little prong on that side and a prong on this side. So loosen both of those and it should pop right back out. Now the button is going to go right into its spot. It only goes in one way, so you can't mess this up. You'll push it into it clips and that one is complete. And now for the start button. This one's being held in 3 locations, so you're going to want to unfasten the 2 that are identical. Again, be very careful with this plastic. It's very rigid, so if you pull too hard, it's going to pop. All you have to do is unfasten those 2 locations and then the other one will come out by itself. As you can see, it was simple. It's just very tedious, so be careful. Now the button, same thing. It only really goes in one way, so once you push it in to the point where you feel that click, it's complete. Now we're halfway there. You're gonna go back in the car and install in reverse. Be careful not to over tighten and break the plastic. Once you get it in, admire the work because it looks so good with the dry carbon. Yes sir. Now over here I was staring at it and I realized, hold up, this thing's like not lined up properly. I loosened a couple of the fasteners and made the right adjustments to where the buttons are centered. At this point, you're ready to put this gear selector bezel back in, but you need to connect both of the plugs. Do not forget that. You don't want to keep taking this thing off and risking breaking the clips. Installing both of these interior pieces is just as simple as pulling it out. Once you get the clips aligned on into the hole, you're gonna just push down evenly and it'll go right in. As you can see with the cup holder, I started just whacking it on the front and worked my way back, and basically it was done. And boy, does it look just as good as I thought it was. Damn, this shit looks fire. Of course, once you clip everything, make sure everything works. So start the car, play with the switch and see if the drive modes change. At this point, I was like, damn, I hope it goes into Sport Plus, but of course it doesn't. I don't have the ECU for that.
Yes sir, the interior is coming together little by little. Got all my carbon pieces. Got the red Nismo buttons. I may do this in carbon and then carbon seats. Oh, and then obviously the last touch will be the carbon wheel. I'm looking at 2 companies right now. They're pretty pricey, so I'm more leaning towards using that money for more performance parts. So that's probably gonna be like the last thing that I do on this car, is that carbon steering. But it's coming together.